Alex, I'm gay. Mean this week. I'm playing Street Fighter Alpha 2 for Super NES.
Oh.
In fact,
we call it 0-2 over here.
I don't know why I'm playing the Super Nintendo version. It just seems like a fun thing to do. But
I have that at the bar. It was a gift from Worth Nintendo, I believe.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I mean, it ain't cheap. That's for sure.
No.
But it ain't good either.
Also that.
Yeah. Well, it's a nice gift. It's a decent little game nonetheless. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I'd rather play that than most other.
I also have it on the Saturn, so it's no contest.
Well, no, of course not. But, back in the day, I think they were going for the idea that, well, some kids who don't have a Saturn yet might still want to play it on their Super Family computers.
What? Who doesn't have a Saturn yet?
It's 1996.
Come on.
Get with it.
Get with the times, Mo.
Its price is lower than ever.
That's right.
Comes with 3 games.
Bug.
No.
Shit. Hang on. Wait, I know this. Daytona, United States of America.
That's correct, yes.
Major League Baseball.
No.
Was there a major?
You're thinking of the Game Gear.
Virtual fighting.
Yeah, I think it was it VF2?
Okay.
Yeah.
And Mr. Bones, or as we know him, Hone-san. Okay.
It was Virtual Police.
Is that related to Paw Patrol? Is it the same universe?
I believe so, yes. It's a Sega property. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, exactly. The same things happen. Whatever.
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I've just been dicking around with some Super Nintendo games on a real Super Nintendo because I do have that flash card and I should be playing it instead of letting it, gather dust.
Yes.
Because I've told you before how, on this show, rather, I think I was saying I wanted to sell a lot of my retro stuff. But I
do remember this, yes.
I have let the pile just sort of sit long enough to where it's like I'm coming back now and going like, maybe I'll keep it. Maybe I'll keep this one. Maybe I'll keep that one. Who knows? So I'm doing that pathetic thing. But a lot of it I still think is going to be sold.
What are you doing with Super Krusty's Funhouse?
Out. It's out of here. It is gone. Goodbye.
It's the most advanced puzzle game I think I've ever played.
Hey, kids, I'm talking Krusty.
He's in it.
Did I even ever rent that game? No, I must have. Yeah, I remember playing it back in the day. But yeah, I never owned it.
Yeah, we all rented Simpsons games at least once before we quickly realized, oh, all right.
Yeah. Well, I must say, Krusty's Funhouse is the best of them.
Yeah, right.
Ones,
yeah. Right. I mean, I did own Bart versus the Space Mutants, which I can only describe as bafflingly inscrutable.
Yeah. But then somehow they got it even more bafflingly inscrutable for Bart's Nightmare.
Yes. Well, between that, we had Bart versus Radioactive Man, Bart and Radioactive Man. And there was also Bart's World Tour.
Bartman versus Radioactive Man.
Bartman versus Radioactive Man, and then Bart versus the World?
No, so that was the second one. It was Space Mutants, then Bart versus the World, and then Bartman and Radioactive Man.
Dawn of Justice.
Yes.
Okay.
They didn't make enough Simpsons movies. They really could have driven that into the ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah, instead of having to drive the series into the ground.
Yeah, well, something needs to go in the ground, I guess.
Yeah.
Why not comedy? Anyway, yes, I will not be playing any Simpsons games this week or tonight or whatever. I think I'll just stick to Street Fighter Alpha 2 for Super Nintendo because I'm a weirdo.
And my friend Jason and his family just bought a house. Now he's a homo.
It's No More Whoppers. Welcome to the show, everybody. Thanks very much for listening. My name is Ray Barnholt, California's #1 pot smoker of roasts, that is. And with me, as always, he's already pre-ordered his tickets to a Minecraft movie, Alex Fraioli.
Now, here's my mistake. I didn't pre-order them to the Minecraft movie.
Right. No, that's okay.
So I'm going to see, looking at the ticket here, it looks like it's a one-man show downtown.
All right. Community theater.
Yeah. Based on real events that occurred in Minecraft. Ray, how do you do?
Minecraft True Crime. I'm all right.
what an underused genre.
Yeah, isn't it?
It's been a real month, hasn't it?
You know what? It has, and it's not stopping. But because it is, today's high was like 94 or something degrees Fahrenheit. And so, I mean, even though it's September, we're still in our No More Whoppers summer session. I've been advised not to call it Hot Wop Summer.
What? Why not?
That's what's going on right now.
Let's go with it. Go with it.
The tail end of summer.
Okay. Yeah, it's still broiling over here, even though we're now in September. That's just how we do.
I must say, apparently, according to my phone, you were at least like 3 or 4 degrees colder than where I am.
Yes. We're also kind of in typhoon season as well, where we do get to enjoy cooler days every now and then.
Yes, it's like a swamp cooler.
Yeah, is that like Ecto Cooler?
No, it's one of those makeshift air conditioners. It's not really an air conditioner.
Oh, gross. We were supposed to get typhoon number 10 last week. Was supposed to just come up all the way through the country and wreck everything.
Now, does Lou Bega sing about that?
Yes. Yeah, it's
right.
twice as long as his original hit. He had nothing to do with this typhoon. Typhoon number 10 showed up and kind of caused some trouble in the Southwest, and then just like pissed around by itself and then dissipated.
Right. Okay.
I've never seen a typhoon edge so hard. It was supposed to hit here last Tuesday, and like the day before it's supposed to hit, I keep, my wife and I are tracking it on our phones, and it's like, oh, now it's going to hit the day after. And then like every day that comes, it's like, actually, okay, it's 2 days out, but here it comes the next day. All right, okay, it's 2 days out now, but it's coming. And it just never did.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And it cost me a sandwich. Komeda was closed on the 31st because Nagoya was convinced that the typhoon was coming. And like, I think it drizzled for 40 minutes.
Wow.
There was like nothing else happened.
How about down by like south of the Aichi, down where the coast actually is? Nothing?
Oh, yeah.
Nothing.
Well, no, because
Legoland's okay?
Legoland was fine. Yeah, those bricks are built tough. We got a little bit of rain, like residual rain, but we didn't really get the strong winds. We didn't get any downpour. It was just like, yeah, that's some light rain.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that you said it was edging.
Yes.
And then you said the word come a lot, which I didn't approve of. But
that's right. Well, I mean, I find weather to be very sensuous.
Well, you make a good point. I think more typhoons need to just be gooning is really what we need. We need an opposite of edging out there by the typhoons.
Wait, hang on.
Really just sit
I forgot
down,
what gooning is. I know goon is a kind of Australian wine, but I don't feel like this is related.
So this iteration of the word just means like being a
is this
porn
like soaking?
addict, but like soaking in your porn.
Okay. No, I'm talking about like Mormon soaking.
Oh.
Where you just get in there, but you don't really move around. I don't think they're the same thing.
Well, you don't move around, but you do move around,
All right, cool.
Just
Grilled Mormons? All right.
Basically what gooning is. You basically construct your video wall of porn and just be a porn addict for hours on end.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
Who are you hanging out with?
Hey, I'm only here for research, okay?
All right, well.
I'm just writing the paper.
All right, well, can you credit me?
No. You don't want to be known as a gooner, trust me.
No, I don't. No.
Anyway, spicy start to this week's show.
Yes, welcome in, everybody. It's No More Whoppers, episode 250.
Oh, my God, that's right.
That's right. We're halfway to 500. We're getting there. Lord
almighty, we sure are. Yeah, and that means I guess I have to do a better job of editing this one. Because it's such a milestone.
Yes, you gotta tighten it up because this is the podcast you tighten up with.
Well, then good thing we talked about gooning.
That's right.
But yeah, other than that, you dodging a typhoon, things are okay in your neck of the woods.
More or less.
Got any new voice jobs to talk about?
I did recently film. Remember that audition that I had? I got that job and it filmed. By the way, that's one of those jobs where like, I'm glad I got it because I need the money, but also A, don't like being on camera, and B, don't like having to wake up at 5:30 a.m. to then be on camera.
Yeah, isn't that crazy how like if you add a
Yeah.
camera to it, it's suddenly you have to get up at 4 a.m. Like,
Yeah,
like
it
movie
sucks.
shoots are the same way, right? It's just
And when they contacted me to tell me that I got the job, and my reaction was like exactly the same as when Trump realized he had won the election. And he's like, oh, fuck, I have to, oh, no, I got to do this now? Oh, Jesus.
And now you have to sit there stone-faced next to Obama as you do a limp handshake and just like, oh, man.
Yes, yeah, Obama was there. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, of course. He's everywhere these days.
It was a promotional video for Konica Minolta printers. They used to make cameras. I used to have a Konica Minolta camera. That was the camera I brought to Japan when I came over here to study. They have shut down their camera making. I think they sold all their tech to Sony. Now they mostly do printers.
Wow.
And we went.
I didn't know.
I had to meet some dudes in Shinsakai. They picked me up in a car. We drove all the way to Toyokawa to go to the Konica Minolta home base.
Nice.
Where they make the printers and they design the printers. And we get in there. And I said,
They do both, huh?
They do it all. I said maybe the most Jimmy Pardo thing I've ever said in my life, which was really fun. We get in there and they're giving us a brief tour before we set up and start shooting the thing. And they show us where the printers are designed and where the printers are manufactured. And then we go into a waiting area that has a printer in it. And I just motioned to the printer and I asked one of the guys, what is that, an Epson? And no response at all. Just, yeah, もちろんコニカです. Ah, okay, thanks, man.
It's a cartoon of Fantasyland.
I don't know what I was expecting.
Yeah, when if you do an English bit in Japanese,
yeah,
I imagine
it's not going to land
go
at all. Yeah, I mean, I was doing it for my benefit,
Right.
which is
You're
really
like,
selfish.
Right, you're just saying to yourself, "Hey, what if I was Japanese Jimmy Pardo for a second? How would that go? Well, let's find out. Dive in."
Oh, fun.
In Japan, they called it Famicom.
They did Family Computer. But yeah, it was so this shoot was supposed to go. So we were supposed to start filming at 8 and then wrap it up. I think they said in under 6 hours. So it was supposed to be done by 2.
Yeah.
And we ended up going long. It went until about 4, so I had to open the bar late. And the reason that it went long is because like nobody knew how to fucking use the printer. And we've got like, there's an engineer there. There's like one of the guys who designed it is there. And we're like poking at the panel, trying to get it to do something with envelopes. And it's just not. And we eventually figured it out and it was fun. But like,
you can't write that. You can't.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I don't mean to disparage the company. I mean, I feel like I did a good job on the thing. I did my best. I think they make a good product. I'm not, nothing against them. Just I feel like the shoot could have been coordinated better.
Sure, right. Wow. Well.
Yeah.
I'm glad it kind of worked out in the end. And
yeah.
You said you're getting a good chunk of change for it?
Not, well, good enough.
Decent?
I mean, really, yes. Like it was worth going, certainly.
How many grocery trips is it?
Quite a few, I'd say.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Fewer Costco trips, though.
Oh, of course. Well, that's to be expected. Well, you only need to go to Costco once a month, really.
That's true. No, it's pretty good. I'm being compensated. Probably not what is industry standard, but I don't do a lot of on-camera stuff because I hate it.
I see.
So you would think, oh, maybe I should be asking more for this, but no.
To be fair, I don't hate it.
Hi. Why's that?
Because it's very entertaining for me to see you on camera.
Oh, you mean when I'm okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Sure. Well, I'll let you know when the thing is live.
Okay. Oh, sure.
And then, yeah.
No, I mean, I'm not a fan of me being on camera that much either.
Oh, I am.
Yeah. I see. I see what you're doing. Well, as long as I am near my ideal weight, I'm sure I would feel much better about it.
That's right. But that was all great. That wrapped up late. So I ended up opening late, which meant I was also frantically texting our pal Jasper Oprell because he and his buddy were visiting that day. And I had to be like, hey, I hope you're not showing up when I open because I won't be there.
Okay.
We basically had to be like, yeah, could you show up at like 7? Because that's when I'm going to get back to the city and actually get there to open.
Jesus.
But yeah, Jasper and Jonas were super cool. They hung out.
Yes.
Some other folks came in. We talked about fun
You should
games
plug
like
their game.
Soul Calibur. I will. It's called Surmount, I think. And I have a copy and I want to stream it. I think that's next on my stream docket.
I edited that.
That's right. You edited it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm excited for it.
So it doesn't sound so European.
Exactly. You cut out all the U's.
No, actually, I don't think I did.
Oh.
I think I kept...
Somebody told me...
I can't remember what I did.
Somebody told me they went to see a stage play adaptation of My Neighbor Totoro in London.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a sentence right there. And like there was a title for the show, like a physical, I don't know if it was like a billboard or whatever. Not a billboard.
Mm-hmm.
There was a physical My Neighbor Totoro sign at the beginning. And then one of the stagehands came out and placed a U in the word neighbor. I guess that's
as a bit?
Yeah. That's what you call localization, I guess.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Cute.
Yeah. I'm sure it was fine.
Do you think they're all upset about the Game Boy Color not adding the U to the name?
I do think that.
Yeah.
I think there's unrest even today.
Do you think some guy wants to come out and put a U on every little Game Boy?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that guy has the tribal tattoo from that one Game Boy.
That's a Game Boy Advance. It's not a color. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Sorry, we were talking a lot about Golden Sun.
Okay, I see.
I got Advance
cool.
on the mind.
Of course, that's all right.
I mean, do you think they should also put a U in Advance?
Well, no.
Why not?
It doesn't really work. I'm afraid, like, it's not called Game Boy Advance.
All right. Boy, how about that Game Boy Micro? That's real tiny.
Yeah, in fact, you could use that little character that looks like a U, but means micro.
Oh, Mew?
Is that the official name?
Yeah, I think it's Mew. Yeah, because there's one of the train lines here is called Mew Sky, and it's just that symbol plus sky.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. You're
but
right.
yeah, when I've had to read that in scripts before, and yeah, that's how I learned that that's micrometers.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
So you could do that. Yeah. You could do that on a Game Boy, yeah.
I guess I could. I don't know. I feel like the micro is too small to use. I've held one before. I think my hands are just big enough where it's an annoyance.
Fair enough. I like it. It was cool. It was, extremely pocketable, and so I would take it to work and stuff and play FF5 on break and stuff.
Wow, Cannoneer! Was that
Not
one
bad.
of the new jobs? All right.
It wasn't bad at all. In fact, I still want to get one of the green ones that came out in Japan.
A green micro?
Yeah, that's right.
Is it like Luigi themed? I know that's your guy.
It's just green.
But you like green?
I do like green.
Okay.
But I'm also not really going to use it that much, so I don't really need to get it. It's just nice to have,
All right.
One day I'll treat myself. Anyway.
It's important to treat yourself. I just bought myself a camera recently for shooting YouTube videos because I had been using my phone.
The Sony.
That's right. I was using my phone for a long time, and that's getting to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah. I mean,
because my phone, it can do 4K 30 FPS, and that's all I wanted. But it also means that, okay, well, it's like a 3-year-old phone, which means the battery sucks, which means it has to be plugged in at all times. I have to clear a lot of space off the phone. It gets hot as hell.
Yeah.
I also have to make sure that I lock the brightness and I lock the focus because I've run into problems with that where I don't do that, and then I've got to do it all manually in editing, and it sucks. Locking the focus is tricky because I record what I call McAllister style, i.e., Home Alone. So there's nobody there. There's nobody there when I'm sitting on the couch to hold their finger on the screen and lock the focus. So I basically have to put my hand way in front of the camera and then get it to focus on that. and then lock and focus and then sit down.
Yeah, that sucks.
And with the Sony, I don't need to do that. I can. It's got a screen that I can turn to face me. Hi.
You did get the Sony, what they call the vlogging camera.
The ZV-1. I think it's their most basic bitch vlogging camera.
Hey, it's okay. You can be a basic bitch.
It's I don't need anything more than that. Like, it was getting dinged in the reviews for having suboptimal stabilization. I'm like, I don't need that shit.
Oh my God.
It's going to sit on a tripod. I'm not walking down the street saying, how's it going, guys? Today we're going to try a famous Japanese food called Blorko Baboyaki. Get it now in your face. So, hey, they eat with ohashi here in Japan.
Yes. But, okay, well, to be fair, I mean, it was marketed as a vlogging camera, so it would want people to go out and use it in that way.
I know,
I can see why,
I understand.
But for, doing it McAllister style, you don't need it.
Thank you. I just enjoy making fun of vloggers is all.
Oh, yes, of course.
Look, they have a right to eat. I understand. But you know
I'm
what?
streaming IRL today.
Extremely mockable. Yeah. Oh, man.
I'm going to do a mukbang.
I thought it was bang.
No, it's bong.
Oh, that's illegal in Japan. This decision was pushed, nay, shoved off the cliff into reality because I got a big, I think it's a tax refund from the local government. I still don't quite understand why.
Okay.
I got a thing in the mail that was just like,
here's some walking around money.
Like, it was 40,000 yen, and I'm like. I got a thing in the mail from the city of Nagoya that said, in English, I forget what it was. It wasn't like money inside, but it was like, you
may already be a winner.
I did say something in English along the line. Oh wait, I have it here with me. Hang on, I can pull it out. Oh God, shit! Hang on, forget all the audience. All right, here we go. Ready?
I'm ready.
Notification of benefits from the city of Nagoya. That's all.
Oh, I was hoping there'd be more.
No, that's the only English on it.
I see.
And that was cause enough for me to open it up and be like, okay. And of course, when I get something, there's a form. It was already filled out too,
right,
by a machine, not by a human hand.
No, of course.
That's
everything in Japan these days.
They did the math, and they were like, here, you can get 40,000 yen back. All you have to do is... See, this is when I started to think, wait, is this a scam? Because it's like, all you got to do is give us your bank info and sign it, and then log onto our website and submit all that info.
All right.
And so, I followed the QR code on the envelope, and it went to the official Nagoya City website, where I saw the exact same images from the envelope, and I'm like, okay, I think this is legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything kept leading back to the official Nagoya website. So I was like, okay, I think we're good. So
Nagoya.com.
That's right. .jp. So that was a huge deciding factor. The other one was I have an Amazon business account, so the camera was also another 10,000 yen off. On top of that, they were doing a campaign where if you buy that model, you can get a 10,000 yen rebate. So I'm like, okay, this camera is practically free, so I can't not buy it.
Okay, sure, yeah. Can I interject for a minute?
Yes, go.
There was a real discount on Amazon Business.
That's what Amazon Business does it all the time. That's how I got my microphone for 30,000 yen off.
That's crazy. I've never found one thing using my business account that was dramatically lower than what's on the normal site.
Huh.
Maybe I just don't look for the right stuff. Maybe I'm not looking for cameras. Maybe that's my problem. But
it's possible. I don't know.
I've never seen any benefit of that. But yeah,
weird. No, yeah. Almost everything I buy is cheaper because I have an Amazon business account. Did you confirm your business with them?
Yeah, it was years ago.
Then I don't know. Oh,
I distributed an app on their crappy app store.
Oh, right.
That was all. Yeah, it's all.
But yeah, it's because they want you to be like, well, I'm a business and I get a discount. That makes me more likely to buy in bulk. I'm not buying shit in bulk. I just bought the one expensive microphone. Yeah. Oh, Lordy.
Yeah, I think that's really what it is, the bulk savings. At least over here, maybe is what it is. But anyway, yeah, cool camera. And it's good that you got something to replace the phone because
yes,
they like to say, oh, you can just get an iPhone Pro, for example, and shoot a movie with that. But what they don't tell you is that they use special apps on the phone too to make it like professional grade recording. And,
I there's a lot of stuff. That's what I figured out with the iPhone shooting is I had to spend a lot of time in posts, like getting myself not to look like a horrible troll. And I still did. I think it was the Sea of Stars Chained Echoes video where like I was using a halogen bulb to light myself. And I don't know what it was about my specific layout, but like, my teeth became orange in the final video. And I'm like, hey, my teeth aren't perfect, but like, I know they're not orange.
Yeah, that's a color grading problem. Yeah,
the only way to fix that was to sort of identify that specific shade of, tan or whatever that was sticking out and then lower it. But then that also made me look like Powder from the movie Powder. Which is why in the finished video, I look a little pale, if you notice. If you want to go back and watch that, which I recommend. I recommend everybody
all right.
Throw that link around. Get your family to watch it.
I'll go do that
I look
right
very
now.
pale. Thank you. I look very pale. And no, with the Sony, I'm going to be able to get all that sorted ahead of time.
Yeah, good. Have you done some real-life tests on it already? And
not yet. I've been trying to, man, I'm just...
Real-world tests?
Here's how lazy I am. It is the interface and stuff. The text is only in Japanese, which is for 90% of what I need is not an issue. But there's a lot of very specific film settings which have kanji that I don't know.
It doesn't have an English setting?
No. There's a way to flash the firmware to hit it with the English that's in the foreign version of that camera. Yeah, I know.
Oh my
it's
God.
Really stupid.
Come on, people. It's 2024.
That sounds like more of a hassle than it's worth. So I think what I'm going to do is just futz with the settings till I find the one that looks right. Most of it is fine. Most of it I don't have a problem with. It's just there's a
Get
couple
that iPhone of yours and translate with the camera.
That's right.
Jesus.
I've been using I typically don't rely on a lot of auto translate stuff, but I did find so for the video I'm making now, I'm doing an Eiyuden Chronicle story breakdown. And I found a video of Murayama, like a 40-minute lecture he gave on game design and scenario writing that was locked to a Japanese like webinar website.
Oh yeah, boy, oh boy.
And he linked to it from his Twitter like 4 years ago. I was going through his Twitter trying to find information, and he linked to it, and the video's still up, and I had to make an account, but I logged in, and I downloaded the whole interview, uploaded it to YouTube as private, had it auto-generate Japanese subtitles, had it auto-translate the Japanese subtitles, and now I'm going through it trying to find relevant bits that I will then properly translate and subtitle to include in the video.
All right, that's badass.
It's exciting. It's fun. It's exciting.
Yeah. That's what makes a good video.
Right.
Partly, But yeah, good for you.
Yeah, you also got to have fights.
Yes.
A buffet.
Also, conflict, drama.
Conflict, right. Resolution.
Yeah.
Denouement.
It's all in Dan Harmon's story circle.
Oh, is it?
You can look it up.
All right.
Hey, just for funsies.
What?
I went to Amazon Business, and they do have a discount on the Sony ZV-1 in America.
See?
It's not great. It's 15%.
That's still substantial.
To who? The poor?
I mean, when I was freaking out, when I was freaking out about that Herman Miller sale, I was relieved to get the 20% off eventually. And then afterwards, I looked up the sale online, and of course, in North America, it was 30% off.
Yeah.
But Japan's not so lucky.
No. Why would they be?
I don't know. Ray, what's new with you?
Well, speaking of Japan, Nintendo talked about the Nintendo Museum finally.
Oh, right.
For one thing, they said when it was going to open and everything. And there was a video, of course, with Miyamoto walking around showing us what it was like. And if you recall, not maybe 3 episodes ago, we were talking about my Japan trip and how 50% of the reason to go to that country was to go to the Nintendo Museum because I was expecting it to be open by summertime.
And then it wasn't.
Maybe. It wasn't. But then, I saw this video and got the taste of what it was going to be like. And then I also saw things like, their ticketing system is lottery based, which is kind of a bummer, but not too out of line for other kind of Japanese hot museums. I think the Ghibli Museum does that too. But just seeing that and seeing the content of the museum was just like, okay, I'm good. I don't need to go. I don't need to go as soon as possible is what I'm saying. And so I just got brought back down to earth because I was like, building it up in my head how cool the Nintendo Museum would be. And so far, at least based on this preview video thing, it just seems like another sort of theme park attraction in a way.
Sure.
Just an extension of the Universal thing.
I mean, what do they got there? They got Mario's original hat. They got Palutena's original mirror. What else they got there?
That'd be cool, yeah.
They got a Rob.
The shoe with gum from Gumshoe.
The original. Yeah. Do you know what flavor it is? Hey, Nintendo trivia. Do you know what flavor of gum it was?
Blueberry.
No, it was Maximum Mango.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bubblicious.
That's right.
So I think also, I think I'll just wait until somebody inevitably puts up a YouTube video of walking through there.
Oh, right.
And giving
exactly.
a tour of it. And then I will get an even better sense of what it's like. And I can decide for myself if it's really worth going with any kind of pressure. You know what I mean?
Man, oh man. Absolutely wild.
I'm not too surprised because it is a lot of it's just, well, first of all, they have these interactive things and that's pretty cool, of course. But then they do have the history floor where everything's in a big case and you can see all the games and stuff that they made, of course, and all the toys. And it's just yeah, well, it's certainly in glass and I certainly know about everything in here.
Cool.
But the interactive stuff does seem cool and that might be good for the family, of course. But yeah. So that's the Nintendo Museum. Kind of a letdown, but not a full-on letdown. We're just going to see when we come back to Japan next time.
Next time you come, I'll go with you. We'll make a day of it. We'll have
Well,
sandwiches.
I hope so, because the tickets are random draws.
Oh.
Now, okay, I went to the website, of course, and you can pick the day and time that you may or may not win the ticket for. And you can set group tickets, I believe.
Well, there we go. Let's be a group.
So it's possible, but you're still rolling the dice. It's well, I'm going to be available because I'd be on vacation. How about you? That sort of thing. So
I like dice.
But yeah, no, it would be great if we could all go.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
But that is just going to be on the back burner.
Am I allowed to bring drinks inside?
Probably not.
I'm out.
It has a cafe, though. You can buy some drinks at the cafe.
I said I'm out.
Come on now. Alex, don't pout. What? Come here.
Do you really want my Diet Dr. Pepper?
A drink that has never been in Japan.
I bet it has. I mean, I can buy Dr. Pepper next door at the Donkey.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see it anywhere else in the country. It seems like they're not a fan of it.
They got Mountain Dew, too. That's where Maddie and I went there to buy Mountain Dew. She invented a Big Boss cocktail for the bar, and that was the closest place that had them. And it turns out, they're right next door.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. That's good news.
That's right. She's American now.
I think she always was, Alex.
What? What's that?
Yeah. Tall blonde woman, probably American.
What? Since when? No, she's living it up. She's doing
Possibly
the arts.
Norwegian.
She's having fun. We wish her the best, as we do all Maddies.
Yes, of course.
Possibly Norwegian. Yes.
Sure. Okay. One more Japan thing. Why not?
Go.
I think you got a couple things too, maybe. We're just going to talk about Japan all day. How about that?
We love
cool.
it. It's great. They call it Hospitaliano.
So previously on the show, I was talking about how people were getting their hopes way up about 7-Eleven introducing Japanese snacks into the American stores.
Oh, that's right.
And that's still, nothing's really happened on that front. But like in the past few weeks, a new story to get misinformed about has popped up, and that is the news that the French, I believe, owners of like Circle K and other kind of convenience store and gas station chains made a bid to buy 7 & I Holdings.
What?
And potentially own 7-Eleven.
What?
So it would be under French owner. Yeah.
Okay,
so yeah, this French conglomerate or whatever, their name, if you read it out just in an English accent, it would sound like a slur at the end, so I'm just going to let good old computer do it for me.
Alimentation Couche-Tard.
Yeah, so
Ooh,
they
sultry. Yeah.
were the... Ooh la la.
Ooh la la, sex.
Couche-Tard food would be the full translation of that. Thank you.
Couche-Tard food.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right.
The tar has a D on the end, which is what I was referring to, and how it would.
Oh yeah, it's a
sound
silent
wrong.
D.
Yes, it all is silent in French.
All right.
Okay, I get it. I know.
Fine. Is that related to Reptar?
I'm afraid not.
No.
I am afraid not. Anyway, so they apparently put out a bid just out of the blue to buy 7-Eleven, the Japanese owners. And 7 & I Holdings was just like reporting this. I guess you kind of have to say that, okay, these people have a bid out. We're going to review this bid. And, could happen, could not happen. But, of course, a lot of people were reading the story and just being like, oh my God, they're going to ruin it. Oh my God, what do they do? Oh man, I can't go to 7-Eleven anymore. Yeah, exactly. Nothing's happened.
What do they think is going to happen?
People were, I guess, talking under the assumption that they had already entered into the purchase and are buying 7-Eleven. All they did was make a bid.
Oh.
It's just an offer.
Cool.
It's not even a hostile bid.
All right.
Which I don't even know if you can do in Japan.
No, they're very polite over here.
That goes to my larger point, which is like, can you even remember a time when a foreign entity to Japan bought a Japanese company, a large Japanese company? Has it ever happened? Will it ever happen?
I don't know.
I mean, the big Japanese corporations are like traditionally like resistant to all of that.
Yeah, they're buying you.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't
It's always the other way
company
around.
Didn't the Japanese company just buy U.S. Steel?
I don't think it was Japanese, was it? Okay, was something like that. Yeah.
Was it Nippon Steel that bought U.S. Steel? Look, I don't know from steel. I don't know what's going on.
No, I certainly don't either. No. Or was it Nippon Ham bought U.S. Ham?
Oh,
Oh.
gross.
Hey, we'll get a baseball team out of it. But
Great.
Yeah, so I mean, it's also like when people or analysts, people in general, idiots, were just like Microsoft should buy Nintendo since they're buying all these other studios. They bought Bethesda and Activision.
Yes.
Hey, they should try to buy Nintendo.
And I sometimes get messages from folks every time that head, like every couple of years, that headline makes the rounds, like Microsoft eyeing to buy Nintendo. I get people reaching out like, geez, this is big news. You see, this is huge. This is really big.
It's like,
no, it's not. It's not going to happen. That's not a thing that can happen. That's a fucking clickbait headline. That's not based in reality.
Yeah. And whether or not it can happen, it hasn't happened. So
yes. Right. Obviously anything can happen, but it's like, it's not going to happen. It's like, hey, what if the emperor decided to merge with Morinaga? I don't know. Like, it's not a thing that is realistic.
I don't understand the political system enough, but okay.
Well, we all love chocolate here.
Okay, good. But yeah, it's people just operating under the assumption that it has happened. And so it must be big news. But even internally at Microsoft, because those internal emails got leaked when they were going through that FCC stuff. And then somebody from Microsoft was emailing Phil Spencer from the Xbox part. Like somebody else who wasn't in Xbox emailing Phil Spencer and talking about how like, hey, we should really buy Nintendo. We should really jump on this. Here we go. I got it all lined up. I got my guys. We're going to make it happen. Just say the word. And Phil Spencer is writing this email reply just basically with the voice of like, oh yeah, man, boy, that would be amazing. Let me tell you. Yeah. Let's, you know what? Just call me back. Because of course that's not going to happen. Yeah. But people have linked Nintendo all sorts of things. Like Disney should buy Nintendo. Nintendo should buy Disney. We should all buy Nintendo.
Yeah, I don't understand this idea. Like, yeah, every company should be under the banner of one monolithic entity. Yeah. That would be great. Like, why is that a good thing to anybody?
Yeah.
That's what makes shit suck more.
It sounds especially good to moronic gamers who have no idea of how any business works other than, getting a Happy Meal at McDonald's.
Yeah, I think the reason they think it's good is just, that if Nintendo buys Disney, then Nintendo will have all that Disney money to make more games for me with. Like, yes, but no,
we could finally have Mario in Kingdom Hearts. Oh my God. Finally, my fanfic comes true.
Doesn't Nintendo have more money than God in cash? Don't they just have a ton of assets, of money?
That has traditionally been the understanding, yes.
Right?
It's like Nintendo's not hurting.
Yeah,
no.
They're fine.
Even when they've been hurting, they're not hurting.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Like, they can weather shit like the Wii U, for example, because they have stockpiles of money.
Yeah, Nintendo can afford to fuck up an entire generation.
Yes. And they have a couple of times.
Yeah.
Like, it's not new to them either. Like, they are going to be around for quite a while by themselves, fighting their fight.
Right.
They don't need anyone's help. But anyway.
Hang on, I believe it's called the Billy Ocean strategy. Is that right?
That's right.
All right.
That's what Iwata called it, yeah.
That's what I thought.
So, yeah, it's that kind of sentiment that happened around this 7-Eleven story. And that's my update, really. It's just that people once again got bent out of shape over nothing, literally nothing, other than the fact that 7-Eleven was just like raising their hand, going like, "Hey guys, these folks rang us up. We're just gonna see what they're all about, okay?" I mean, first of all, this other company are the owners of Circle K. I mean, that just doesn't. Who can even imagine Circle K owning 7-Eleven?
Who could fathom? I can't.
Should be the other way around.
I can't fathom that.
Yeah. There was a bit I picked up earlier that apparently the French company was going to also try to buy Speedway, which is another store/gas station chain here. But 7-Eleven did first. And so I didn't really even realize that they had owned Speedway until like a couple months ago when I saw that 7-Eleven put up a Tetris collaboration and was selling like Tetris t-shirts and stuff. And and two kinds where they had a Tetris logo with 7-Eleven logo and then a Speedway logo. And I was like, oh, I guess they own Speedway. Because there's also one down the street here. So I was just like,
cool.
Anyway, that's my 7-Eleven news.
Good news. I mean,
it's like we haven't had it in 12 years.
That's right.
We used to talk about 7-Eleven all the time.
All the time. We couldn't stop talking about it.
Yep. This is part of our No More Whoppers Rewind segment.
Wait, are we calling it that?
Yeah.
All right.
Where we talk about the same sorts of things we talked about in like the first 100 episodes.
All right. Cool. No More Whoppers Rewind.
Gokutai Kudasai.
Cool.
I guess we should take a break.
Yeah, let's do that.
Seems like a good time to do that. We'll be back with more of this after this.
煙たがる君横目見ながら眠らない二人で夜の続きをしよう 相槌から何まで全部テンプレート下手なコミュニケーションには相も変わらず真っ白なキャンバス真っ黒いカラー
Folks, we're back.
Folks, oh, God.
Okay, there may have been a miscommunication.
No, keep that in. That's how we come back in. Hi, everybody.
Okay,
We're back.
fine.
I'm Alex. This over here is Ray, motioning.
We
to
run
Ray.
a tight ship here.
We do.
Alex,
What's up?
what is up?
Oh, I didn't have anything.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's continue. I got another Nintendo thing.
What? The Big N?
There was yet
All right.
another tiny sort of Nintendo Direct thing the other day.
Hang on, wait. Do you want me to call it the Big N or Ninty?
How about Nindo?
Wait, do people call it Nindo?
No, we're doing it right now.
Okay, all right, Nindo.
Have you ever wondered if maybe like a British magazine was struggling for new crappy nicknames to call Nintendo and someone just eventually had to settle on the headline Cheeky Nindos?
Yes, I do think that.
Have you ever wondered if that ever happened?
Oh, that absolutely
I do
happens.
all the time.
Yeah, I think it's unavoidable, really.
England, right in. Anyway, yes. They had a double-header Nintendo Direct. They had an indie one followed by their partner one. Where they showed plenty of new games all across the board either way. The only thing I really wanted to bring up, relevant to both of us, but you especially, as a Suikoden fan, and somebody who has been asking about this at irregular times in the Discord. Well, now they have some sort of an answer that Suikoden 1 and 2, Gate Rune and Dunen Unification Wars, which just rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it?
Right off the, yeah.
I'm just
it's
so
pretty
glad Konami really went for an impactful subtitle for their re-release of two momentous RPGs that everyone loves. Really just hits home exactly what you're getting. Thank you so much, guys. Love it. Anyway, Suikoden 1 and 2 HD coming out March 6th, was it? Yeah.
I want to say 5th.
5th? Well, I'm 24 hours off.
I don't know. Maybe it is 6th. We usually have an intern research these things and then update the doc accordingly, but
Joel was away
quit.
on Teams, and of course, right? Always away. When you're trying to ping him and it's like 5 minutes before showtime and it's like, come on, dude, where are you? And it's like, oh, I'm giving my dog a bath. Great. Well, can I get some info on Suikoden 2, please?
I heard he quit to be an MMA fighter.
No, MMO player. That's what he does full time still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Then our conversation about his physical state, well, I guess it still tracks. Oh, you think your body's up to it? You think your body's up to it? I don't know. There's only one way to find out, man.
For the Horde.
Oh, great.
The date is March 6, 2025 for the release date of Suikoden 1 and 2 HD, Gate Rune, and Dunen Unification Wars.
All right.
Boy, I just keep thinking about that subtitle, and I also think back to how sorry I am for the people at Capcom USA who, when they got word from Japan that they were making a new Capcom Arcade Stadium, like retro collection, and it was called Capcom Arcade Second Stadium, that they had no power.
Yeah.
I just know that U.S. office, those people were just like, oh my God, can we please? And they were just like, no, I know that happened. Because why else would you call it that?
There's a certain amount of, I feel like a lot of Japanese titles get a pass simply because they're in English. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not a big anime guy, as we all know. But one of the ones that routinely pisses me off, and I've never seen a frame of this, is Dungeon Meshi officially being translated as Delicious in Dungeon, which is a name that makes no fucking sense and is not grammatically correct in any way.
No, yeah.
But
who came up with it, and it wasn't the Western side.
No, yeah, but I guess that's what we have to use because a Japanese person said it, and it's English, and that's what we do now. That's what we have to go with.
Yeah.
And I understand that it does serve the function of it can be sort of abbreviated to D&D, which is like D&D. Like I get that. That's okay. But also it's silly and it doesn't make sense. And that's what gets me.
I guess it goes both ways sometimes. Like I think I know what the Japanese title of my game is, but it's just mostly a tongue-in-cheek thing for laughs in some ways. But I still sell it that way, and it doesn't roll off the tongue there either. But
I think my issue is I am too hung up on trying to interpret English from Japan as making sense, and when I can't make sense of it, I disregard that entire property.
Yeah.
I still think My Hero Academia is about someone who lost their way in life and only got reinvigorated by becoming a scholar. Because what else could that fucking mean? What could that possibly mean? I don't know. Don't tell me what it's about. I don't want to know what it's about. But what else could that be? Nothing else makes sense. What?
Well, I can tie that one back into a video game.
Okay.
Yeah, so there was a My Hero Academia game released a few years ago called, in Japan, My Hero Academia, One's Justice.
Great.
Right?
Yeah.
It has its own unique logo and everything. It looks perfectly fine. When they localized this game, they tweaked the title and the logo design.
Yeah.
And so the logo and title of this game is just My Hero One's Justice. No colon, all one line.
Oh.
But why would you take the academia out of it? Because people also know what that is here.
If you had told me what the Japanese title was and then posed the challenge to me, now make it worse, I couldn't, but they did. They somehow
it makes no sense.
Why?
And then they made a fucking sequel and just put a 2 on it. My Hero One's Justice 2.
Awesome.
Why not keep...
Surprised it's not My Hero 2's Justice.
Oh my God. Second Justice. But it's like, at least keep the colon. They don't even keep the colon.
I don't get it.
Mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Absolutely mind-boggling. And so Suikoden ain't much better. But so I hope the game itself really pulls it off. Really makes it worth it.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I'm really let me say this. Yeah, they've put me on such a roller coaster because that game was originally supposed to come out in like March 2023. And then that
now wait a minute. Oh yeah, it was all vague dates.
Yeah, it was all
like it wasn't an actual day.
2024.
Yeah. They delayed it.
Yeah, but I like that roller coaster. Eventually, I got off of the roller coaster, and after we heard nothing about the game for 6 months, I was like, "Oh, it's canceled. All right, like I can still play the originals. Who cares?" I'm still glad that it is going to come out, and I'm sure it is. I think they have actually advertised this, but there's going to be they're going to fix the translation because both games have a lot of problems.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
You will get skewered if you don't.
Yes. Suikoden 1, I believe, was translated by Harry Inaba with Konami, who did a decent job. There's a couple of mistakes. Again, this is back in the mid-90s when we were not too strict about this kind of thing. It was just like, is it English? Yeah, release it. We're done. And then Suikoden 2 was a Jeremy Blaustein joint, I believe, with some other folks. But the problem there was he had 6 weeks to do it. And all things considered, I think did an okay job. There are a lot of, I mean, obviously there's a lot of stuff that just didn't make the cut because they didn't have time. There's some dialogue that just wasn't translated, so people talking gibberish. The back half of the game, like some of the final battles and areas have entire conversations, like dialogue conversations that are like off by 1. So every line is misattributed. So like the wrong people are talking and it's really confusing. It's not confusing if you know what the game is trying to say, but like if it's your first time playing, you're just like, you're the villain. Why are you saying this? It's a lot of that. And I just want that to be fixed real bad.
Well, again, it has to. There's no doubt, right? Truthfully.
Yeah.
They would be stupid to not touch it at all because they know the Someone has to understand the gravity of the situation.
I'll tell you this though. Somebody still doesn't quite understand. Somebody still hasn't learned after the FF Pixel remasters. Hey, maybe people want pixel font. Wouldn't that be cool?
Well, font and translation, different situations. I know what you mean. But it's like, if Capcom ever bothered to remake or remaster like Breath of Fire 2, like they'd better fucking retranslate it.
Yeah.
And they would, because Capcom's pretty good with that stuff. They've translated every Ace Attorney game at this point, so
yeah,
they know what they're doing.
Man, I don't know why it's so common. I think it would be really funny if like somebody did a mock-up of a Mega Man 8-bit remaster where the game looks pretty much the same, except you go into the weapon menu and it's the most smoothed over font you've ever seen. That's a funny image to me that I feel sort of encapsulates the design philosophy behind some of these modern updates of classic games. Is like you kind of understand why we like pixels, but not really. Like the pixel font it's part of the aesthetic.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. I guess I shouldn't give Capcom too much credit because that Mega Man Battle Network collection not only gave you a smooth font in a magnified, blown up GBA game.
This is something they actually did do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Mega Man Battle Network Legacy collections, which have already sold over like 1 million copies. People were dying for these for some reason, but they redid.
That's almost 1 million copies.
They did their HD font, but kept the GBA graphics. But not only is the font HD, it's fucking typewriter serif.
What?
And need I remind you, these games are about living in a cyber world,
Yeah.
Highly connected future world where you can, jack into your oven and defeat Fireman.
Yeah. I mean,
if this is the font you decided on?
If it was about Resident Evil save rooms, 100%. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is not.
Yeah, these are the games you play on the typewriters in Resident Evil.
Wow. All right.
And I don't think they retranslated them either. I don't know for sure. I don't actually know.
Okay.
But from what I've seen, because I think they're emulations, underneath anyway. I think they just left most of that alone. And those games are pretty too, as far as translation goes.
I don't want to recap. I don't want to re-rant because I've already got it all out of my system when we talked about the FF Pixel remaster fonts. But the Pixel font is a choice and it complements the sprites and the visuals. And when you put a smoothed over font in there that doesn't look organic to the world and doesn't look like it belongs, it kind of takes me out of the experience and just makes me realize, I'm just playing a product. Cool.
It's a hard lesson I learned because Blast Rush as it is now, it's like pixel art mixed with high res like UI elements and stuff. Oh. And it's not ideal. It's not that great.
Yeah.
So the way to fix that would be just have a more holistic sort of like video gamey look where everything is the same sort of quote unquote resolution. And that's the way to go. There's another game coming out, a Toxic Crusaders beat 'em up that also has like pixel art in the gameplay, but all the UI stuff is just like higher res, including the life bars and everything. And it just doesn't mesh.
Don't do that.
No, to me now, it's a pretty rookie move at this point. And I'm a rookie, so I can make that mistake.
I too am a rookie, and I do have a question about video game visual design. And this is embarrassing enough that I feel like it'll be useful for the show because it's something that I need to know to make my video. But is there a term for what?
You're in a safe space here, I think. Is that true?
All right.
No.
Until this is released to literally dozens of people. Is there a term for just animation that's not sprites, it's not pixel art, but it's like bits and pieces of a monster design that are then like pinned together and animated like marionette style, so they're all kind of flailing around. I don't know, like Auden does it a lot, and it's one of the things that disappoints me about the game visually is that it uses these beautiful sprites for the characters. The characters are gorgeous, it's beautiful sprite art, but a lot of the monster design is just like a little too high res. Monsters that like the thing I wrote in my script was it looks to me like a flash animation marionette,
right?
If that makes any sense.
I think I'm getting it. Yeah.
Okay. I don't.
You ever seen that old game Ernest Evans?
No.
For Mega
Was
CD.
that Jim Varney as Captain America?
No, I'm afraid not.
All right. Okay.
Never mind.
But yeah, it's not a style. It's the game is mixing two different visual styles, and I don't think it's. But the thing is, it's mixing three really, because bosses are polygonal, and then regular enemy encounters are 2D, Frankenstein animations, and all the characters are just beautiful pixel sprites.
Well, I haven't seen it yet, but I think it's just 2D skeletal animation is what it's mostly called.
Okay. And I understand
where everything
why
where a 2D character is sort of rigged with the skeleton the same way a 3D character would, and has that marionette feeling. Yeah.
Yes, I think and I don't think that's universally bad, but I think
great.
you got to be real. Yeah, and I think you got to be careful with it, because it does like some of the monsters when they die, their death animations. It does look like somebody was holding a marionette and then just dropped it. Because it just falls down and like there's no physics to it, there's no personality to it. It's just dead. I don't like it, but I understand why they have to do that, because I know that pixel art, especially animating pixel art, is prohibitively expensive.
Oh yeah,
in this day and age,
it's absolutely efficient.
I get that it's an efficiency thing. Not a huge
Wasn't
fan.
that Eiyuden prequel game like that too?
Yes, that's why I noped out of it so early, is because that's the visual style for the whole game, and I'm like, it's the whole visual style behind that game. That's why I noped out of it early, because it's that. It's just that whole style. I think I played it for about 10 minutes. Like, I can't look at this anymore. This looks really bad.
Yeah, but you're saying it's mostly in battles.
It's the enemy design. It's monster design.
Oh, just monsters. Yeah,
it's only monsters. Yeah, and it also doesn't help that they seem to be animated at like 15 FPS for reasons I don't understand. Maybe so that they look more natural with the sprites. I don't know.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but it just makes it look awkward, and I do not like it.
Okay, I finally got a taste of it here in a video. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I think they're just doing skeletal animations for these things.
Is that the term?
That's the most common term, yeah.
All right.
I mean, they have it in Unity, for example, and I believe Eiyuden is a Unity game.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's just, an engine feature that they promote it, and they call it skeletal animation.
Fun.
Use sparingly, I would say.
Yeah. Not for almost every monster in your game.
Yeah.
No, what's funny is that I was playing through Suikoden 2 to get footage, and there's one boss that does it there. But obviously not in the exact same way. But there's a golem boss that is composed of, about a dozen or so individual sprites that are then like put on a skeleton frame.
Yeah.
And they pivot around and move around, and it looks very weird.
I mean, there's also live 2D, which is kind of a different technique, but it is the same principles, which is usually how they animate the sexy anime girls in your gacha games these days.
Ooh!
But,
Play now, my lord!
Yeah. When you really need to accentuate the heaving bosom, you want to go with a live 2D animation. And I think also
love a heaving bosom.
It's a VTuber thing too. You'll see a lot of VTubers employing that sort of effect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's the same-ish thing, but it's different enough that it's not quite the same use case as just plain old skeletal type stuff like you're talking about, marionette style.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Oh, geez. What's the best... I gotta go.
All right. I guess one more thing about Suikoden 1 and 2 is that it is funny that Suikoden 2 has such a bad translation, like technically and, materially, but the game is still rare and desired. Like it's an easy $150 if you sell it.
That is...
And it is still that way.
See, to me, that's how I describe the game's quality. That's how I explain why the game is so good, because I'm completely serious. Like it's got a really good story. It's got story and characters out the wazoo. The translation is pretty bad, but despite it being that bad, it's still one of the better stories on the PlayStation, if you like JRPGs.
Yeah.
It's like it comes through. Like Murayama's intent comes through all of that garbage.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
high praise.
He's a good guy.
All right. So yeah, another reason I guess to look forward to the remasters.
They're coming.
The remakery. March 6th. Now, how about Metal Gear Solid Delta?
No.
Gate Rune and Dunin Unification Wars.
Russia Unification War.
What if Solid Snake was one of the 108 stars of destiny?
Although it would be funny if they called it Metal Gear Solid Delta : Virtuous Mission and Operation Snake Eater.
Yeah.
Which does sound like something stupid they would do.
No. I think to really mimic the format, it would have to be a Virtuous and Snake Eater operations.
Whoa, contains both operations, dude!
Yeah.
Holy shit!
God.
This is the all-in-one package.
For fuck's sake, Konami. Anyway, another Nintendo Direct thing I thought was neat is they announced Tetris Forever, which is the new Digital Eclipse collection.
Oh, sure.
And a lot of comments I saw about this is, well, first of all, it is pretty much all of the console Tetris games that were published and made by Bulletproof Software in Japan. So it's basically all of the Famicom, Super Famicom, and Game Boy ones. And
Is there no possible license finagling that would allow them to include Tengen Tetris?
Well, they might still have something up their sleeve, but
Okay.
as far as right now, it was all of the BPS Tetris games.
All right.
But yeah, of course, a lot of people were like, where's the Nintendo Game Boy Tetris or the NES Tetris or the Atari Tetris? The Atari one especially, because Atari now owns Digital Eclipse, so you would think.
Oh.
But it is a different Atari from the Atari Games, which was the arcade division, which was originally owned by Namco for a minute, and so it's like it's all that part's a bit tangled, I think. So who really knows? But yeah, it's just I see those kind of comments, and it's like, well, it doesn't really work that way because Tetris is kind of complicated license wise, even though a lot of it was smoothed out like in the 90s. But nevertheless, like, those Tetris games that we did not get on Famicom and Super Famicom are pretty good, except for the very first one. But there's Tetris 2 and Bombliss for Famicom.
Yes, that gets a lot of play at the bar.
Yeah. And then the Super version of that is also really good for Super Famicom. And then there's a separate Bombliss game for like Game Boy. And then Super Tetris 3, which is also good. Very high quality.
That also gets a lot of play at the bar, yeah. That's I believe that has a 4-player option.
Yeah, Famulous is what they call it.
Famulous. All right.
Famulous.
That and Super Puyo Puyo 2 get a lot of 4-player puzzle action
course.
at the bar.
And also in this collection is Tetris Battle Gaiden, which is another thing that I think a lot more people over here know about. Because I think Giant Bomb.
Yeah,
sort
I
of
think
pumped
that's
it
the
up
one thing.
over the-
The one thing I had always wanted in Tetris was a side story. And I'm glad they finally did it.
It's a bit of a misnomer, Alex. It's just
Why? What do you mean?
it's not a side story. It's just more of a side game, side
What do you
interpretation.
Gaiden means.
I know what Gaiden means, but it's not actually much of a story.
Or is
inside
it a
of the
different
actual
kanji?
game
Maybe
product.
it's outside electricity. I don't know. Can you play it outside?
Well, you want to look it up right now?
Yes,
Smart
I
ass?
do. Hang on. I'm looking it up right now. Hang on here. Tetris Battle Gaiden. All right. Tetris Battle Gaiden. Japanese. It's Gaiden. Tetris Battle Gaiden.
But you and I
Side
played the
story
game.
Gaiden. Yes.
It's really just different multiplayer modes.
Wait a minute. Why does... Oh, it's one of those games where it's the logo has the kanji and then the katakana of the English of the kanji. So the logo says Tetris Battle Gaiden, and then under that it says Tetris Battle Gaiden. Like,
Yeah.
just pick one.
Well, it's serious stuff. It's very formal.
I guess. And it's got like a Jack Frost mascot.
Yeah. Just in
All
time
right.
for Halloween.
Tetris Online.
Yeah. So I think all of those games pretty much blow the old Nintendo versions out of the water. And they are worth playing, and good for them for putting those in the collection. But yeah, sometimes Digital Eclipse will add games or announce things later on that you may not have expected. So maybe there will be the arcade, the Atari / Tengen version. Maybe not the actual Tengen NES version, because I don't think Nintendo still wants any any remembrance of Tengen. But perhaps, yeah.
No.
Well, also Nintendo announced at the same time that they are going to put their NES version on Nintendo Switch Online.
Oh,
so you'll get that. You don't have to buy the whole.
I'll get
collection.
the other one. Well, no, I'll get the other one from Tengen Online on Tengen's official console.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh boy, what if, right? What if they had just stuck around this entire time for 30, 40 years?
Yeah, partnering with Galoob.
Yeah, we're still making unlicensed Nintendo games over here because fuck them. You get a Switch cartridge that has like a weird bump on it. And
yes, bump and jump.
It has like an extra grip so you can pull it out of the slot easier. Yeah. Yeah, that was Nintendo Direct, more or less. You like video games? I do.
Yeah.
And of course, all these games are also on PC and the other platforms. You don't need a Nintendo to play them. So,
yeah. You know what's funny though is that like I am embracing my non-console future, but I will probably buy a Switch too, just because Nintendo's stuff is just good enough that I do want to stay on top of some of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, and for me, I'm also getting Fitness Boxing 3.
Oh, fun! You can slim down even more.
3 times as much.
By the time you show up to the Nintendo Museum, you're going to be jacked.
Now, it's very funny because they just released Fitness Boxing featuring Hatsune Miku.
Oh.
And I got that. And I have to say, it's like the best fitness boxing game for a couple of reasons. First of all, like, okay, the Vocaloid music, not everyone's cup of tea, but it is actual produced music. And if you've played the other fitness boxing games, all of their music is like sub karaoke levels of covers.
Oh, cool.
Of popular songs from several decades. And it's just
awesome.
It just gets very interminable very quickly. And I've played those games on mute up till I got the Hatsune Miku one.
Wait, it's a rhythm game?
Sort of.
Okay.
You
can play it on mute.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
It's not as like technical as DDR or something.
All right.
You just have, you just punch left or right depending on what goes on, and maybe duck or sway sometimes. But the timing is very generous. It's not really like that hardcore.
I believe you. Hang on, I have a Hatsune Miku question. Maybe you can help me with this. It's actually more of a linguistic question, but Hatsune Miku reminded me of this. Is there a term? Sure. Is there a term for, like, we know what wasei eigo is. Wasei eigo is English invented by Japan.
Right.
Like baby car or safety box. But is there wasei eigo? Is there a term for wasei eigo that has come from Japan but then entered into actual usable American English? Because until I moved to Japan, I'd never heard the term twin tails. I just know them as pigtails. And then once you become ingrained in weeb culture, you start to notice, twin tail, they call that kind of hair twin tails. And now I see weebs doing it in English, referring to them as twin tails. But I'm like, that word was invented by Japan, right? Like we didn't originally call them twin tails.
Well, I don't know about twin tails specifically. And I don't really know if there's a term.
I feel like there should be a term called like Dibenji Ego or something. Where like Japan makes up some wacky, like NEAT. I fucking hate NEAT. Yeah. NEAT is one of those.
Oh yeah.
Like when I see weebs use the word NEAT in English, like, I guess that's a word now. That just became English because somebody made up an acronym and now it's caught on. Like, all right, I know that's how language works. We love them. Shield. I couldn't pull one. Jesus Christ.
Alf.
Right. Jag.
No, tell us what Alf means.
Oh, alien life form.
Oh, it does? I thought it was Alex
Yeah.
Liberation Front.
No. Yeah, let me out.
Krusty wants out.
Great. All right, so that's Tetris Battle Guide.
Yes. And that's been our Nintendo Direct guidance here on the show.
Oh.
Fantastic.
There's got to be a word for that. Any of our pals into linguistics, please let me know if there's a term for wasa'ego that becomes standard or acceptable English.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we're recording here at the beginning of September because I just came off of almost having an extended nightmare of not having hot water.
Oh, no. What happened?
Well, our water heater mysteriously broke, and it's not something you can really get fixed immediately. So let me explain.
Okay. Are you accusing me of doing this?
Yes, you've tampered with it far too many times.
Because I was here.
You don't need it that boiling hot.
I just wish you'd kind of get off it and leave me alone.
Yeah, so this is another fun homeowner type story.
Cool.
So we have a water heater. It was installed when the house was being moved into, so it's not that old. But it decided to break part of it. On the bright side of that, it was still well under the full warranty. But the negative part of that is that if you try to call a repairman, they will tell you if it's still under warranty, you need to call the company because then the company will fully reimburse you, ship new parts to you for free, and basically be your concierge for a repairman.
Okay.
And so
now wait a minute though. Well, doesn't the repairman stand to make more money if they just say, "Oh yeah, I'll be right out"?
You would think so.
So why wouldn't they do that?
But nevertheless, the situation is such that they just give you a new part. They're not going to have someone come in and inspect it and maybe fix it up. Because the part that turned out to be broken had a very flimsy element of it that it was like a foam ring of some sort. And you just can't fix that if it breaks. So yeah, we had the company send us these two parts. They said they would come within a couple of business days. Apparently, I did not ask and they did not bother to bring up the fact that you could in fact get them shipped expedited, which they failed to do. So not really a couple of business days. It was going to be more like 8 days for this one part to come.
Okay. That's over a business week.
So we got back on the phone with them and said, hey, can you actually not or send another one faster? And they're like, yeah, okay, great. We'll do that. And they did that. And so instead of waiting nearly a week to get the water heater fixed, we only waited 3 or 4 days in total of not having hot water. And then we got the packages, and then we immediately called up our assigned repair company service, and they got someone out the next morning as early as they could. And then they were fixing it for less than half an hour, and it was all done. And we got it all back. But in the interim, it's not fun having a cold shower. And so I did order on Amazon a little sort of portable shower thing. It's like an electric powered pump. You just dunk it into a bucket or whatever, and it'll pump the water out into the shower head. You can just take a shower with that.
All right, let's do it.
It's good for camping and such. And that's the main thrust of the marketing of it. But of course, it is very good if you just need to heat up some water on the stove and then go put that pot in the bathtub and take a 3 or 4 or 5 minute shower as this thing. So that was livable. It was livable.
Okay.
I made it through. And now the water heater is all fine and dandy and working even better than before.
All right. Pour me a hot mug.
Yeah. It's just, it was a fairly new experience for me. I don't think I really remember anything happening as far as water heaters go in my life. But yeah, fun that I got to experience all that and find out that, hey, actually, you just can't have it done very fast. You need to go through the company first because you're under warranty. And it's like, okay, well, I'm glad I'm under warranty. Oh, I guess actually one of the other twists of all that was that these repair places locally didn't actually have the correct part. Like they were out of the parts. So the only way to get them reliably was from the company directly. So whatever.
What was it? Was it like a handle? Was it a sticker?
It's a temperature sensor.
Oh. I guess you need that.
Yeah. And also I got to have fun learning how to relight the pilot light and stuff, even though that was futile. It didn't work. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. How do you do that? I don't know how any of that shit works.
Okay, well, so with these newfangled water heaters, you have a little control box, and you can basically just turn a dial and push a button. Then this button acts sort of like lighting a match in a way. It just flicks a spark inside, and then the pilot light just lights up. And it's all done basically electrically. And it's
like I remember
you don't have to reach
20s,
in. Yeah.
I remember in my early 20s in my first apartment, like seeing the pilot light in my oven for the first time and being like, "Is this safe? What is this?"
Oh God, yeah. Well,
yeah, because we grew up with electric ranges.
Yeah,
and then I moved into an apartment that had a gas oven. I'm like, "Well, this is too much for me."
Mm-hmm. Well, you remember my bachelor pad in Burlingame?
Yeah,
my oven was like from the 50s, and it had like a little pilot light sort of thing as well. And so I had to light it from like a little pipe that stuck up near the door that would like let gas out. And then you would just like light at that.
Safe.
That was scary. Yeah. Very, very scary. In fact, one time I came home after a trip and the whole place smelled like gas.
Oh dear.
Because, and you've been in that apartment. It's a very tiny studio apartment.
Yeah.
The entire thing smelled like gas. I guess the pilot light had gone out, and it was just spewing gas out the entire time.
Oh, no.
I'm freaked out. I called the landlady.
You lit up a fat stogie.
No, you just have to let it air out and just let it settle for a while. That was basically the lesson there.
Okay.
Don't be because at that point, you can turn it off, and as long as you can turn the gas off, you're fine. Just let it settle out and don't sit in there too long. But after that, you still get kind of scared to relight it because it still kind of smells like gas around the place, but it was fine. Everything was fine.
Oof.
Yeah, not fun.
No.
Not fun. Not fun at all. And of course, also our water heater has a giant sign on it that says, "Please do not return to the store where you bought this from."
Well, that's improper grammar.
Which you see a lot on medium to big ticket items. Where it might be a computer or something where it just says, "Please do not return to the store. Please call us. We'll help you. I swear to God." Because they need their proper service records or whatever, and they have a warranty, and they're legally required to have some sort of warranty, so they want to provide it to you. Yeah. So yeah, water heaters. I hate those. I also hate servers.
Oh, you mean like a bad waiter?
No, computers that serve things over the internet, like web pages.
Sure, right.
I had the Scroll website running on Squarespace ever since I had it up. So like 2011. So it's always been on Squarespace. And Squarespace is a for-pay web hosting service, but they have their fancy templates and such an easy way to design a website even. But, after Scroll was done, I didn't use it much. It was just there to have people come and buy stuff when they wanted to. So I didn't really use Squarespace that much. And Squarespace now this year, jacked up the price for maybe the 5th time. They do it every year because they're a nice, evil internet company. And I just was sick of it. I'm not paying a triple-digit figure for a website that is functionally static. I mean, it has dynamic things like a payment form and stuff, but nothing's going on. So I finally decided to cut it loose and move it all over to the cloud server I have the Bipedal Dog website on. So why not move it to the server where I have the website for that built on WordPress? It was kind of a little bit daunting at first because it meant I would have to remake and redesign the site in my WordPress designer editor thingy. And that was about a week or so, just, straight days, just kind of futzing around with it again and figuring it all out. But I did it. In fact, I got it all done much earlier than I thought. I thought it would take me until September, and this was like the beginning of August when I found out from Squarespace they were going to raise prices again. And so that was good. I'm glad I got it done early, but it's still not fun having to like figure out how to make the website look like it used to on Squarespace. So ultimately what I did is, because I had a lot of pages on the Squarespace one, things that didn't really need to be there anymore, I just made the scroll website into one page. Well, plus the ones for like the individual issues, where it's just, you go there now and you just see the menu of all the issues. You can just go by that. Before on Squarespace, you had to like click a title screen basically and go to the shop page. So I made it a little more efficient that way. Got rid of some of the junk that didn't have any use anymore. And now it's a much nicer little web page.
Yeah, I'm lucky in that I've never had to futz with any of my server stuff. My buddy Paul very graciously hosts my site on his server, which has helped me out a lot. And when the big changeover happened from Google, what's it called? G Sites, Google Net. The changeover, when all that went over to Squarespace, I was terrified.
No, Google Domains went to Squarespace.
That's it. Google Domains, that's right. I was worried because I know that Squarespace is considerably more expensive. And I'm like, well, I don't want to automatically be lumped into some higher tier service where I got to pay for shit that I don't need.
Yeah.
And
they have not been very transparent about what's going on with that.
No, not at all.
At all.
I had to log into my new Squarespace
up.
account and determine that, no, okay, good. They're still just charging me for the domain itself and not for any hosting.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Jeez. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you would have to get a special plan to actually have them host pages for you.
Yeah. Don't want that. But yeah, just the whole reason I went with Google Domains is because I want to avoid shit like Squarespace. And then they're like, you have to now. Like, all right, cool. Thanks, guys.
Fucking ridiculous. Just another example of Google just abandoning shit for no real reason. Just because some product manager said they don't need it anymore. It's like, okay, dump the whole fucking thing. Like, no thanks. Could you just keep it? Because it's not hurting you. I know it's not hurting you. Could you just leave it up?
Remember when they got rid of Google Reader?
Boy, remember Stadia? I was so into Stadia, and then they just pulled the plug.
Oh, I still play mine.
I don't think so.
No.
Shut it down.
Sorry, I'm thinking of what was the Tommy Tallarico video game machine?
Oh, the Amico.
The Amico! Yeah, I still play my Amico.
Right, yeah, it's fun for everybody.
You guys didn't get yours?
I'm afraid not.
Oh, all right.
And so the end result of everything is that instead of paying $138 a year to Squarespace, I pay $7.15 for my entire website a month.
That's good.
Which is, about, it's approaching the old price, but instead of doing that for 2 websites, I do it just for 1 website that has 3 sub websites. You see, it's very cool. You should get one of these WordPress servers that have a multi-site configuration, and you could just like point things to different domain names and have like a secret separate website from your other websites. It's a really cool thing.
I'm still trying to figure out how to use WordPress, like from a design standpoint. Every time I try to futz with my WordPress layout, I fuck it up and I don't know how to fix it. I'm bad with visual design, layout.
So I've heard. Yeah.
Graphics.
I mean, you could have you looked at a YouTube tutorial or something?
A what?
I'm sure somebody will have a tutorial for you.
Yeah, probably.
You can also buy all sorts of templates and like plugin suites.
It also kind of pisses me off where like sometimes I'll find a WordPress layout that I like, but it's just not supported anymore. And so there's all kinds of, bugs that crop up and it's basically unusable.
What are you looking at? Wow,
like, the old ones from like 2017, 2018.
Oh,
they'll be like, here it is. We supported it up until last year. So good luck.
And
then I load it onto my own page and I try to fiddle with it and make it presentable. And it's just, oh no, this doesn't work.
I would say have a look at Theme Forest someday.
Theme Forest. I feel like for my purposes, though, there's no reason I can't just take a free one and tweak it just so.
No, I know. I'm just saying it's an option.
Okay. My site only exists as a portal to my other stuff. It's not like,
But you want a nice looking portal, don't you?
I guess I do.
Nah, it's fine. Just
right.
saying, there's a world of
Nintendo
stuff
is
out
doing
there,
something about it.
What's that?
and you can teach yourself as well.
I will.
So, yeah, my websites are all squared away. I
get
haven't
it.
felt this free in years.
Hey. Yeah, you look all loosey goosey.
Anyway, don't forget to visit scroll.vg for all of your 10-plus-year-old magazines.
Get there now for the latest deals.
Yeah. Prices have not gone up. Scroll is inflation proof.
Okay, well, now hang on. Can I buy anything else there? Like, I know the scroll issues are all there, but what if I also want like cooler ranch Doritos?
No.
All right. Liquid plumber,
No.
solid plumber.
It's all digital stuff. It's just like infinite copies of things you can buy.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'm sure your magazine's good.
Oh, I don't know about that, but thank you.
We have fun. Well, look, I'm not going to lie. It's impressive that you own and maintain your own web presence.
Yeah.
I think you should keep it up. I'm rooting for you.
Oh, yeah.
I think, I think we can add I think there's ways to upsell at checkout. I think you need to work on that a little bit, but otherwise, pretty good.
Sure. Well, thanks.
All right. That's all the patience I have for commerce. Why don't we take a quick break, and we're going to come back with some phone fun. I think we have gotten communications from several people.
Communique. All right.
Yes.
Let's take a listen after this.
Stay frosty. When I was 9, I was at a friend's birthday party, and they were all talking about Home Improvement. And I was not watching Home Improvement, but I wanted to be cool, so I pretended like I was watching Home Improvement. And they were like, okay, well, if you watch Home Improvement, what's the name of the show that Tim Allen is in? And I didn't know that there was a show within a show. So I was just like, oh, it's Home Improvement, duh.
Alex, we're back.
Oh, hi.
We're back
Hi,
on the show.
everybody.
Back with more Noah Whoppers. I'm Ray,
all
that's
right.
Alex.
That's me. Hi, how's it going, everybody?
You say who? Yeah, okay, yeah. Hello.
Hi. Raymond,
good break.
I'm going to
break.
say a couple words, and you tell me what's the first thing that comes to line.
All right.
To line? You don't use line over there. You use WhatsApp. I'm going to say some words. You tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Alexander Graham Bell.
Foot Locker.
No. He
All right.
he made a device. I know you know it.
Tough actin'
What?
Tinactin.
What? No, that was invented by John Madden.
Okay.
This predates that, actually.
All right. Oh, I'm still doing it wrong? Okay.
Yeah.
Alexander Graham Bell.
What did he invent?
Post-its.
No. Is that Mike Nesmith? No, that was... Wait.
No, that's
No, wait.
Rory and Michelle's high school reunion.
Thank you.
Sorry. It's a little bit
No,
hacked.
it's the telephone.
Oh, telephone.
Yes, tele means far and phone means sound. What if I also told you anybody could call the number 805-NMW-TALK or 805-669-8255 and leave us a message to play on this very show? What if I were to tell you that? Would it shock you?
Yeah, I'd wonder what idiot came up
It
with
shouldn't. It was your idea.
that. Oh.
This shouldn't surprise anybody.
Fudgicles.
All right.
Well, again.
We've got one here from, according to the transcript, this is from Harvey. This is also Harvey's third call because Harvey fucked up the first two. So it opens with, hey, it's Harvey again. So
Folks, you
here we
got to
go.
bring your A game.
You got to
I
bring
don't
it.
care what you need to do. Practice in front of a mirror. Do some mouth exercises before you dial in.
Kegels, whatever you need.
We need a game. Come on.
All right. Here goes.
Hey, it's Arby's again. Sorry, I got distracted by a butterfly.
Great.
Anyway, as I was saying, this whole Game Informer thing got me thinking, how would you run GameStop? Like, let's say you're given GameStop, have to run the whole business, but let's just say in this hypothetical, you didn't have to talk to shareholders. Let's just say the shareholders sold back all their stock and now it's a private company. How would you run GameStop top to bottom, like from the top of the company to the store level? Like, what would you do? Be interesting. Anyway, Alex, have you ever
This just keeps going.
The boogers. Alex, have you ever scratched in that no area?
Okay.
Anyway, I don't know.
This is one of your friends, is that it?
This is Arby's. I believe this is Arby's for DeBras, who does frequent my YouTube channel. But this is very reminiscent of there's a Comedy Bang Bang character, Scott Ackerman's weed dealer, who comes on and is just kind of high and obnoxious for about 2.5 hours. And Arby's managed to condense that 2.5 hours into 68 seconds, which is very impressive when you think about it.
I will say he did leave previous calls, like you said. He did
Yes.
also ask how my job search is going, and the answer is bad, so I didn't want to talk about that too much.
Cool.
But yeah, thanks nonetheless. It was fun. It was a lot like this.
And then
Yes.
some people did a thing, and people.
Yeah, thank you. All right, yeah, just look, try to avoid calling in while high. It doesn't work out for anybody.
Maybe that's just how he is. Some people are just naturally high.
I guess. I mean, I envy that, certainly.
It can also happen if you eat a lot of macaroni and cheese.
Or if you just wake up and you call us within the first 10 seconds.
I mean, if the last thing you're doing before bed is eating a bowl of Velveeta and then you decide to call us, you're going to sound a little slow.
Yeah, that's ew. Don't eat a bowl of Velveeta. That's disgusting.
Hey, we don't know how he lives his life, okay?
Wasn't there a kids movie where they made wasn't there a kids children's book where they made a whole rabbit out of that shit?
I don't have any idea what you're talking about whatsoever.
Awesome. All right, let's move on.
Okay.
Our next call here is from Bible from Ohio, according to the transcript.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what we got.
Hi there, Alex. It's Fievel from Ohio.
Fievel!
And, in lieu of you shutting down your bar, I was kind of hoping you could share your favorite bar stories. So, I don't want you to tell on this month, but next month, I'd like you to have some stories for us, and let's go over some of your favorite ones. We have meth guys who wanted to start his own fight club and initiated fisticuffs.
Yep.
With the gentleman who served in the British military.
Yep.
We had a crazy drunk spirit of vengeance that smashed a window in protest of being ejected from a fine drinking establishment.
What?
We have Alex falling victim to a WWF superstar who grappled Alex in the famed illegal wrestling hold, the incel, while shoving a lit cigarette into our dearest hope's eyeballs area.
No!
2 guys, 1 tussle, 1 rip shirt, 1 unpaid bar tab. And who can forget an indignant drunk gay octogenarian who got down to groping like it was 1979.
Yes.
Enjoy all your work, guys, and keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you, Fievel. How's it going in Ohio? Where are you at? Are you in Athens? What are you doing, like a Columbus?
That was too much preparation.
That was a lot.
That's the
you know what?
end of the spectrum from Arby's. That's
yeah, it's fine. I
that's
prefer
too much
that.
sitting in front of the mirror.
I prefer preparing to dialing the number and then just being like, so what do you think of blah blah blah? Yeah.
Keep in mind, he did that 3 times. He tried 3 times.
Right. That's
that
the
was
kind of
his
thing
third
you're
try.
supposed to. Literally any amount of self-awareness would be appreciated after the first one. Looking back and saying, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that." Okay. And then instead of fixing your behavior, doing it twice more. Bold move.
Right, that's
all right.
Okay.
Arby's is great, I bet.
The views of Alex do not necessarily reflect those of Ray.
That's true. Sometimes they're diametrically opposed.
You need to put that warning at the beginning of the show.
Yes, of course. So yeah, I was planning actually to do some bar talk, probably for the November episode, because I am planning a more serious YouTube video, an episode of New Game Plus to drop in November to coincide with the bar closing, because there's some stuff I want to talk about in turn, and my autism diagnosis figures into that heavily, which is see Last-ish, Ed. That's me telling you to listen to the bonus shows if you're not a Patreon subscriber. But yeah, there's going to be bar talk. Certainly, it's going to be a big emotional month for me. I think come November. So we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna have stories. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna cry. You're mostly gonna cry. All right. Thank you, Five. We have what?
I would be glad to hear some of your favorite bar stories, because so far we've heard only your least favorite people stories of them.
Yes. Well, that's because it's not really the kind of job where you have good stories. I have good times. Like I like hanging out with my friends there because we're just hanging out and laughing and being chuckle fucks. But like, that's not a story. It's a place I like to be.
That is absolutely true.
So that's why
my life too.
Like bar stories aren't meant to be heartwarming. They're meant to be, holy shit, can you believe that guy?
Heartwarming.
Motioning at Ray. Yes.
All
right. We have one final one. I believe it is from Charles, Pittsburgh's own Golden Sun. Not to be confused with the game Golden Sun. I'm hitting play right now.
Hey, Ray and Alex. It's Charles again. Just calling back to let you know, yes, I could name 10 G.I. Joe characters. Probably a lot more. I did watch G.I. Joe as a kid.
Where are they?
Told you.
Although I would not call myself a super big G.I. Joe fan, but still, it's enough in my brain that I could still get there. Also, just a fun fact, Shipwreck was the sailor from G.I. Joe, who was one of the characters in the cartoon, and then they made a parody of him called Shore Leave. That was in the Venture Brothers. So that was where that character came from.
Yes.
Also, there are Transformers bullet trains or Shinkansen trains that were made back in the 80s, and they actually have done a new versions of them more recently in their Masterpiece Transformers line, which are giant, big, Transformers. And it's one of those six trains that all combine into one giant robot. So, you can probably Google for it and find it. It's called Raiden, just like Mortal Kombat's Raiden. Lastly, that was me, in the mess up call in that you put in your stinger. Sorry, I called in once and then my other phone rang, and so I got nervous and hung up real quick. So sorry about that.
That's great.
But that's all. So, enjoying the podcast. Keep up the good work. See you later. Bye.
Thanks, Charles. Yeah, we figured that's what happened, but it's pretty great.
Well, I gotta say, he has the clearest phone calls.
Yes, right?
So I appreciate
He's got that connection.
Yes.
Right?
Is it his office phone? I don't know. Maybe.
Could be. It sounds like that's the landline difference.
Yeah.
Man, I'm kind of disappointed, though. I really wished he was going to name 10 G.I. Joe characters, because now it falls on me to do it again.
Wait, hold on. Let me go first. First of all, I have to ask, do the Street Fighter 2 G.I. Joe figures count?
No.
Okay. Honda, Ken Masters, Ryu, Chun-Li, and Bison. Oh, okay.
What's Ryu's last name?
Schmasters.
Schmasters. Jesus Christ. Is it not like Hayabusa?
No, he doesn't have a last name.
Okay. What about Sakura?
I think she has a last name. I forget what.
What about Sagat?
Sagat, I don't think so.
Okay. DJ?
No, he's just his last name's Jay. Duh.
Oh. What about Thunderhawk? Or is it Hawk?
That could be Hawk. Yeah.
All right. Kuma. All right. Thank you for that call. Can I name 10 G.I. Joe characters? You got you got Hawklegs, you got Sniper Joe, you got Ringmaster, excuse me.
Hawklegs.
Is that a guy? You got
it in one.
Pimp NZ. I don't know. Olestra. That's a guy?
Yes.
This is, all right, I got 4.
Gundam.
Yes. Yeah, but it's 2 words.
You got cheesecloth.
Cheese. I use that to make my limoncello, or I use it. You got
Train Man.
Green
Densho Toko.
Densho Toko, thank you. That's all I got.
You got Bokunatsu.
All right, thanks for calling in, everybody. If you want to call in, you can by picking up a telephone and dialing 805-669-8255 or 805-NMW-TALK.
Yeah. Please call in and tell us Sakura from Street Fighter's last name, even though I just looked it up. So I
list 10 GoBots when you do.
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
And the month after that, it's Voltron. So look forward to Voltron month at No More Whoppers.
Pick your favorite property and then call in with 10 of them. Like it can be Pokemon, it could be Snorks, it could be Fish Police, like whatever you are passionate about.
All right.
Give us 10.
Just don't overdo it.
No repeats, because if somebody calls in with the same property, we have to play the calls at the same time, and then it gets awkward.
Right. Alex, do you want to know Sakura's last name?
Yes.
It's Kasugano.
That's pretty good. That's it almost sounds Italian.
Limoncello.
Hey, Kasugano! Hey, Paisanos. Hey, Kasuganos. Yeah, I can see that.
It's the Super Yosh Masters Super Show. All right.
Okay.
Nah, we already overdid it.
Telephonics, we've done it.
Let's close up the voicemail bag.
All right.
Thanks, everybody. The number was, what we were supposed to say was 805 NMW Talk.
Yeah, sometimes I do it backwards. Where I say NMW Talk before 669-8255.
Yeah, but like that backwards?
How about this? How about calm the shit down?
I'm fine.
All right.
Actually, I'm quite comfortable.
All right. I regret my words and deeds. I'm actually quite comfortable.
Okay. So that's our show.
That is outstanding.
Now, what do you think we could have done better?
All right. Well, I feel like your delivery was wooden and unconvincing. I certainly didn't come prepared to do my tumbling act. And I feel like Arby's didn't need to call 3 times.
All right. So big takeaways. I need to be more prepared.
Yes.
You need to figure out what act you're going to do.
Yes.
And the guy on the phone, he has one more chance.
All right. Now look, it's called the compliment sandwich, where I say something that you did right.
Yeah.
And then I brutally cut you down.
What?
And then just as it looks like you can't recover, I hit you with another compliment. So I might say something like, hey, I thought that you had some good insights on this episode. Also, though, your station in life is horrendously low and you're not where you should be at your age. And I feel like there's really no prospects on the horizon. But you know what? On the other hand, really, really liked when you did that raised eyebrow thing. That made me laugh.
And you're ugly and you smell.
No, we're not doing a double-decker.
Well, that's it for this episode of No More Whoppers. Thanks, everybody, for listening. You can go to our website, nomorewhoppers.com, find everything you need to there, including our link to our Patreon, patreon.com/nomorewhoppers. It is the best way to support us. You can spend $1 a month just to be a cool gold subscriber. You can spend $5 a month to not only get access to our bonus shows, but get this show a week early. It's great. Everybody loves it. And you can also find a link on nomorewhoppers.com to our Discord server. It's free to everyone, not just Patreon. Come say hi. We'd appreciate it. And we have merch at shop.spreadshirt.com/nomorewhoppers. You can get shirts and buttons and stickers if you haven't yet, especially if you're a new fan, because, boy, we would like some people to buy more of the merch. But we also realize and understand deep within us that we should make some new merch and not just have it sit there for 5-6 years. But that's on us. In the meantime, give us your money. Thanks so much. The phone number again, 805-NMW-TALK or 805-669-8255. Leave us a voicemail. You can discuss, like Alex said, you can name 10 things from your favorite media franchise characters, that is.
Supreme Court justices?
No, I think we know all of them.
No. Oh.
Isn't it funny how when the Supreme Court does something fucked up, suddenly everyone is a Supreme Court expert and knows all of the names of the Supreme Court justices and what they've been doing
right there.
For 10 years?
That is funny.
I know, right? Hilarious.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. I've been practicing my act.
Pretty good.
And me and Alex are on the internet on our own personal spaces. Alex, tell them.
Find me at pitui.org. That's pitohui.org. It links to all my social crap, all my YouTube crap, twitch.television. It's all there. My Patreon as well. Thank you, folks, for supporting my Patreon in addition to the Nomo Patreon. I do have a video I am working on right now, very heatedly. I'm finishing up the script, and then we're filming, and then we're editing. It is about Eiyuden Chronicle and Yoshitaka Murayama, the writer of that and the Scudens. I am very excited for it, and it is only possible because folks are chipping in a few bucks on the Patreon. X in 10 has taken a break because I can't do both. Like, I want to make a cool video for everybody. Can't do that when I have to worry about X in 10 every week as well. So X in 10's on sabbatical, but that means I'm doubling down on the video every day. So I'd like to get that out by the end of the month. We'll see. But yeah, follow me on Blarber. I don't know.
You ever wonder why Alex yells some things and not others? I've never quite figured it out.
What did I yell? Name one thing I yelled.
You know what you yelled.
Do I?
I guess not.
All right. That's
okay,
it
thank
for
you,
me.
Alex.
Raymond, where can we find you?
Well, my homepage on the interwebs is rdbaaa.space. My main social place is mostly on Blue Sky. But my username there is also rdbaaa.space. It's a fun thing you can do on Blue Sky. You can tie it to your domain name. I could be at nomorewhoppers.com if I wanted. I could just steal it from you.
Patui.org. On Patui.org on Blue Sky. Find me there.
Yeah, exactly. See, it's all interconnected. It's like a link system that's really hyper, and you use universal resource locators to get to them.
It makes me feel linked in.
I call it the fanciful cyber world of Dr. Carniasis.
Fark.com.
Also, I have a game company, Bipedal.dog is the website for that. And that's it for me so far. All right. Well,
oh,
Alex.
Hey, here's some fun shit.
God.
Hey,
what?
dig this.
What?
Dig this shit, Lord.
I'm digging.
Thanks, shit, man.
No.
We are, I can't give too much information. We've got a fun new podcast coming out next year that everyone should look forward to. This is a decree. This is an order. Please look forward to it. We are in the planning stages at the moment. It's just boffo. That's all I can say for now.
All right. Yeah. I don't have anything else to add because you sprung this on me. So
I didn't spring anything on anybody. I'm just saying.
I know. You're okay. It's fine.
Get psyched. I'm okay. You're okay.
Get psyched. Play Wolfenstein 3D.
Silent Spring.
All right. Yes. Things are in the works. We'll have more stuff for you eventually. Please look forward to it. Des.
Mitchell.
Okay. Alex, again, thanks for being a good sport.
Mostly anytime.
All right, everybody else, keep your nose clean and we'll see you next time. Gold subscribers, stick around till after the show. From Atlantis to Convoy, we break down the greatest Nazos of the 20th century. Again with the Transformers. They don't even keep the colon.